All right, another video. I'm gonna try to merge this if I can, but and like I said, everything I say is from my perspective. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm not saying this is law. But I've been seeing like different stuff, especially in the spiritual community. This one I'm gonna get out in the first. Number one is any spiritual people talking about we need a leader, or not even spiritual, just people talking about black people, black communities, we need a leader. I'm not fucking with y'all. If somebody is still promoting that we still need a leader, you are an op. I'm only fucking with people who are promoting leadership in themselves and that they want to be around other leaders. Now, I understand we talk about like, oh, everybody, what's the saying? Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. I'm not talking about that perspective. I'm talking about, or even in that case, until we get back to that kind of society, then yes. But we're talking about from a matriarchal standpoint, then that would be completely different. Because when we're talking about too many chiefs, not enough Indians, it's usually from a patriarchal standpoint, not a matriarchal standpoint. So we're not even gonna go into that part. But anyway, people need to be their own leaders. Because if you're a leader, then you're not a follower. Case in point, what just happened, the other day or yesterday, I can't remember the day, whatever, about this whole Fauci thing with the coronavirus. All these sheeple went out and got jabbed. And the smart people like us who did not get jabbed, those are the leaders. Those are the leaders. Those are the free thinkers. Those are the critical thinkers. Those are the people I'm fucking with. Majority of people who took this jab, those are the followers. Those are the people who need leaders. So whoever's promoting that the spiritual community has leaders and all this stuff, like, no. We already seen what that happens. What happens when we get leaders. When we get leaders, they get assassinated. If anything, the people who we're calling leaders are actually teachers, and then you're going ahead and giving them these titles of leaders. They ain't even asked for that position. So then that goes to my next point. Like the Rashad Jamals and the young pharaohs and all these so-called spiritual leaders that people are appointing. This is a download that I had got. And like I said, this is my perspective. This is what I got. Spiritual men do not have money. They're not wealthy. So if you see a man who's promoting spirituality, he is not really spiritual. If you're really spiritual, and this kind of goes for men and women, but I'm going to get to the women in a minute. A man who is truly spiritual is not going to be materially wealthy. He's not going to have cars and mansions and all that stuff. That's just the download that I got. Women will have the wealth. If a man gets with a spiritual woman, he will become wealthy. If a spiritual man gets with a spiritual woman, then he will become wealthy. But a spiritual man on his own is not going to be wealthy. That's point blank period. Now, with the Rashad Jamal situation, because I've never stopped, digging Rashad Jamal. I never thought that he did any of those crimes or whatever. But just to prove, if he was with a truly spiritual woman, a divine feminine, he would not be in jail. Because he would be under divine protection. So that could have been the biggest red flag, that he was not with the right woman. Because if he was with a divine woman, he would not be in jail. He wouldn't. So that was kind of the dead giveaway to me. Because at first, everybody was saying, it was his baby mama. But then even I was thinking, I was like, well, if he's married to this woman, she should be, her spiritual shit should be protecting all of them. So then come to find out all this time, she been an op on him. So, yeah. That just proves the point as far as like the download that I got. If a man is spiritual, he is not going to be wealthy. He's not going to be rich, whatever, materialistic. He'll be rich spiritually, but he won't be rich materially. Because men are supposed to get their material here. If he gets with a divine feminine, she will have her riches in spiritual, and he will bring it down and make it material. That's the only way a spiritual man will be wealthy here. So yeah. So that's two things as far as I'm concerned. Like, anybody who's promoting black people need leaders and spiritual people need leaders, you're an op. Stop promoting that shit. That's an old played out thought process. Everybody needs to be their own leader. If you're in your own household, you need to be leading your own household, male and female. You both need to be leaders, and you come together with other leaders. If we have not learned that lesson by now, there's something wrong with you. So yeah, become your own leader. Be your own leader, and be around other leaders. That's it.